Most people feel lonely, not because they're alone, but because they don't feel received. You can be in a relationship, living in the same house, talking every single day, and still somehow feel completely unheard, right? The annoying thing is everyone thinks that more communication, not less, is a solution. But it's not. The thing people want most in relationships is the thing they tend to get the least. So what is it? It's not love. It's not agreement. It's not someone just taking your side. It's acknowledgement. That moment when you're talking and the person you're talking to actually understands what you're saying. Familiar? They're not fixing you. They're not correcting what you're saying. They're not defending themselves. They're just receiving what you're saying and acknowledging you. You know, when someone doesn't acknowledge you, it feels personal, right? It's not just an annoying sensation. It feels like, do I matter? Did they hear me? Should I even be here? I might as well leave. And that's why people repeat themselves, because they're on this loop because no one ever acknowledged them. That's why people's voices just get louder and louder in arguments. Not because they're trying to have a fight, but because what they're saying hasn't landed, it hasn't been received, it hasn't been acknowledged. Here's why being acknowledged is so rare. People think acknowledgement means agreeing. They think it means surrender. They think it means, oh, the other person wins. So instead of just acknowledging, they go on the defensive. They start reacting. They interrupt what the other person's saying. And without realizing it, they miss the exact moment when the whole conflict could have been handled with just, I really get what you're saying. Or I can fully see why that would have hurt you. So I want you to think about the last argument you had. They said something, you replied, you made your case. They then repeated themselves. Then you felt like you had to make your voice louder. At some point you had the thought of, God, I've already said this, I already told you this. But the truth is what you said was, I don't hear you. I don't agree with what you're saying. And you're wrong. On the flip side of that, people make this mistake. They try and acknowledge and they sort of go, yeah, no, totally, yep, you're right, yep. That's not acknowledgement. That's not saying, I heard you. That's dismissal. That's saying, yep, cool, stop talking. And actually, instead of calming things down, you're just stoking the flames again, right? So what can you do? There's 3 parts to a proper acknowledgement. First, you actually have to listen to what the person's saying. Not thinking about how you're going to defend yourself, but just listen. Second, you have to understand. What? So they're saying this, great. Do I fully understand why they're saying this and what it's actually about? Good. Third, you reflect it back in your own words. You're not saying, I agree, you're totally right. You're just saying, I get that you feel like you're totally alone in this house, or whatever it is. That's it, and something crazy happens. The tension drops. So I'll leave you with this. People don't want to be fixed. They just need to be received and acknowledged. I hope you're getting that from this video. And I think acknowledgement is so rare because it requires presence. It requires you to be there and listening, right? And presence is kind of an expensive commodity. But if you learn this one skill, acknowledgement, it'll improve your relationship more than 1,000 arguments ever could. Try it and watch what happens. I'll put a video down below on communication, how you can use that better in your life.